Good afternoon, class. In this short video tutorial, I want to show you how to do 4 things related to creating and finalizing your digital magazine project. Many of you already know how to do this, so if you do, use it as a refresher or just disregard it. But for those of you who have sent me emails or phone calls about how to finalize your project, I hope this will help you. So in this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create one document from multiple documents. As you know, you have several features, but they all need to be combined into one magazine. I'm going to show you how to create the columns so that your magazine is formatted properly. I'm going to show you how to create your table of contents for the magazine. And then finally, how to save it as a PDF so that you can upload it to SeniorSeminar. So the first thing that we are going to do now is I'm going to open up a sample document that I've created. So just ignore the text, but this is a sample document. So when you submitted your features to me, they all looked like this in some way or other. But this is just a sample of a typical Word document that we want to use. You'll notice that it has the title right here, Journal Article Analysis, and you want to put the full title here also. So I'm just going to give mine a name. I'm going to call it King and Primos. All right, and then I'm going to scroll down, and you'll see that I've already have a second document or feature already added to this. I have a title. I'm going to go ahead and put the full name here also, and I'm going to call this one Rothamel. Okay, now since you have multiple features, what I want to show you right now is, and most of you again know how to do this, but we want to go all the way to the end of the document, and we want to add one additional page to make sure you're starting in the right place. Now, you will just go in, and this is my second feature, so I'm going to go right here, and this is what I want to add. So I'm just going to go select all, everything is here. I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go to the original sample document, and I'm going to paste this in on the last page. So most of you already know how to do that. That's just as simple of taking multiple documents and creating one document at the end of the page. I will note that you should make sure, according to the instructions for the magazine, that you know which order to put your features in. So here I have book review. I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the others, and I'm going to add it. Let's just say I'm working on Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. So now that I have that all set, and I've created one document out of multiples, the first thing that I want to do is go in and create my individual columns so that my magazine is formatted properly. The easiest way to do it is just to do one feature at a time, because it's easier to work with formatting. So I'm going to take my journal article analysis, and I'm just going to, again, just go in and copy the section that I want to work with. I'm going to go right here to Layout in Microsoft Word to the ribbon, choose Columns, and I want this to be in 2 columns, so I'll just select 2. Now you see how that's automated. It's gone from one page to the columns, and the formatting is okay. Double check your formatting. This should be a new paragraph. We'll move this over, move that over, because when it goes in the columns, the formatting does frequently come off. So you just want to make sure that you have everything cleared up. This should be a capital letter here, but double check your formatting. Now, your instructions require you to include a picture on every page. So what I'm going to do now is, let's just say I want my picture right here at the top. I'm going to go to Insert. I'm just going to grab something offline just for the sake of this tutorial. And I'm just going to put in something criminal just related, say handcuffs. All right, I don't want you using clip art in your magazine, so you're going to click on Photo. And I like this one, so I'll insert that. And it shows up here. I may not want it right here, so what I'm going to do is go over here to the position, and this will allow me to move the picture around my page. For this particular feature, I might want it at the bottom. I might want it at the top, but for some variety. So this allows you to move it around on the page. I believe I like this one right here. And what I'll do is, the size is good, so I'll move on, check the formatting again for this article in here. This looks good. Now I'm going to move on to the next section. Again, always go behind and check your formatting, and everything is good here. So with this one, which is I've called the literature review, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to put into columns. Do the same thing I did before. I'm going to check to make sure that the formatting is still okay. Now I have to insert a picture. So I'm going to, again, go right here. Grab a picture. Let's just say I'm going to put a prison cell. And see what pops up off the internet. Again, I'm going to make sure that I have a photo. And maybe I like this one with the hands. So that'll be inserted. I don't want it to be too symmetrical, so I'm going to put it into a different place than I had the last feature. I don't necessarily like in the middle of the text. That's a little unusual for magazines. So this one I'll just put at the end. Double check again to make sure that the formatting is okay. That's good. And then I'm going to move to the last feature. Again, move it up. Create columns for this one as well. Go back, double check my formatting. The next thing I want to do is to go insert another picture. Let's just look for something related to Homeland Security. Well, let's just put in a drone. Again, make sure I'm using a photograph rather than clip art. And obviously, the pictures that you select will be related to your magazine and whatever the feature is where you are using the picture. I like this one right here. So, or maybe in this section that splits the text. Don't like it there. But you get the point that you can place your picture. Sometimes, if you look at the end of this feature, there's a lot of blank space here. So maybe I'll want to use it right here at the end. And I could have moved it to this page. But that's how you create the documents and do your formatting. Now, there's an empty page here, so I need to make sure that that page is not there. That page is gone. Okay, I see my formatting came off again, so let me just go back and fix this. Put that back in the two columns, and everything is there. Not sure why that extra page is coming up. Okay, so now the formatting is all correct. I have the picture, and your instructions say to include a picture on each page, but I won't take that much time here. So make sure that you go in and then add those pictures. Now the next thing that we want to talk about is creating your headings. Microsoft Word will allow you to create a table of contents directly, but your formatting, again, for these titles have to appear a certain way for that to happen. So if we go right here to references on the tab to table of contents, you will notice that there are certain formats already built in. Let's just use this first one, the automatic table. It's very simple, or we could use table 2. The only difference is one says contents, one says table of contents. So we're going to use this table of contents. But if you notice here, it says heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. And there are grades of the headings. So it'll pick up multiple levels. So if you only have one thing, you have to have heading 2. So where does the heading 2 come from? Okay, this is where the heading comes from. Right here on the bar, you'll see heading 1, heading 2, and title. You need to use heading 1. So just select your title, and then heading 1. And there you are. And then you'll need to go. You will need to do each one the same way because you want each title to appear separately. That's heading 1. And then we're going to go to the last one, the same thing, heading 1. Now that you've done that, you need to now go in and create your page numbers. As you know, with magazines, the page numbers typically are at the top of the page. So we're just going to go here and insert page number at the top of the page, and no big deal, we'll choose the one on the side. So your page numbers are now present. Again, you're always going back, checking your formatting to make sure that nothing has changed. So here we have our heading 1 title. We have a picture, we have columns, and of course you've proofed it. We have our page number present, and we are ready to go. Everything looks good. So let's go back here, get out of the header. Now, what we have to do is, and I should have done this earlier probably, but we'll see if it works. We need to insert a page break so that we have a blank page here for your table of contents. Now, we want the table of contents here. So again, we're going to go back to references. We're going to use this section because we like table of contents, and we're going to just ask it to create the table of contents. And so you see that it's already there, and you can make some adjustments. If you want more spacing, you just go down, and that's your table of contents. And it picked it up because you had your headings in one, and you have your page numbers already there. And that's really a simple process. So now the next thing that you want to do is this is a little more detailed in this video, but typically you won't have page number 1 on your table of contents. If you wanted to insert your page numbers, there's a way for you to go back and actually do that, but I'm not going to do it in this video. You can just Google that. So your page number is correct. The next thing that you want to do is save your document so that if something happens, you're not starting over. So just go in, we're going to save this, save it on the desktop, and we're going to call it sample 2. And that's in Word, so that's already saved. But because SeniorSeminar requires that you upload into a PDF, then you need to save this document as a PDF. So we're going to go here. Now we're going to do save as, the same location just for simplicity, and we're going to save as PDF. Okay, so now that has been saved. And I am going to go here to my desktop to pull that up. Sample 2 is right here. And this is what you would upload. So as you can see, it's not a complex process. It is a little time consuming as you check through your formatting. Let me just reduce this down so you can see. And there is your PDF, your table of contents. And I think you noticed this, but as you add pages and make adjustments, you will go back to the table of contents and just tell it to update so that your page numbers fall into place. But you can see what it looks like when it's all properly formatted, nice in columns, it's even, you have proper titles, you have your page numbers, and that's really all there is to it. What I would suggest to you is that for your references, it's entirely up to you, but it actually looks better when you use a separate sheet for references at the end of the magazine as opposed to having them after each feature. So keep that in mind. So if you have any questions, I'm going to load this video. If you have any questions, refer back to it, and you can always email.